Think bottled water is the healthier choice? You might want to reconsider. Some of the most popular brands sitting in your fridge right now could be contaminated with toxic chemicals, heavy metals, and hundreds of thousands of microplastics. By the end of this video, you'll discover which 4 brands you need to avoid immediately and which 2 are actually safe to drink. Let's dive in. Let's start with one of the biggest offenders in the bottled water game, Nestlé Pure Life. This brand sits on virtually every grocery store shelf in America, and chances are you've bought it dozens of times. But here's what Nestlé doesn't want you to know. Pure Life isn't sourced from pristine mountain springs or protected aquifers. It comes straight from municipal water sources, the same water supply that feeds your tap. Nestlé takes this public water, runs it through a purification process, then adds back minerals that give it a distinctive taste, and not in a good way. Multiple taste tests and consumer reviews consistently describe Pure Life as having a slightly plastic flavor with an unpleasant aftertaste. But the taste is the least of your concerns. The real issue is what's in the bottle and what the bottle itself is made of. Pure Life's plastic bottles aren't recyclable everywhere, contributing to the massive environmental crisis of plastic waste. More concerning is that the thin, flimsy plastic used in these bottles is more prone to leaching chemicals into the water, especially when exposed to heat or sunlight. Here's where it gets interesting. Nestlé as a company has been at the center of countless controversies related to water. They've been accused of draining natural water sources in drought-stricken areas, essentially stealing water from communities while paying next to nothing for it. In California, during one of the state's worst droughts, Nestlé was bottling water from public land under an expired permit that was decades old. Independent testing has shown that Nestlé Pure Life can contain concerning levels of contaminants depending on where it's sourced. Because they pull from multiple municipal sources across the country, the quality can vary wildly. One bottle might be relatively clean, while another from a different production facility could contain elevated levels of chlorine byproducts, fluoride, or other municipal water treatment chemicals. The minerals Nestlé adds back into Pure Life after purification, they're not natural. They're manufactured compounds designed to give the water a particular taste profile. This means you're essentially drinking chemically enhanced tap water at a massive markup. You could install a decent home filtration system for the same amount most families spend on Pure Life in just 6 months. Environmental groups have given Nestlé's water brands consistently poor grades. Deer Park, another Nestlé product, received a D grade from the Environmental Working Group. Critics point out that Nestlé's business model is built on commodifying a basic human right, access to clean water, while contributing to plastic pollution and environmental degradation. Aquafina is everywhere. Vending machines, convenience stores, gas stations. It's become one of the default choices when you're thirsty and on the go. Owned by PepsiCo, Aquafina has the backing of one of the world's largest beverage corporations. But that doesn't mean it's good for you. Just like Pure Life, Aquafina sources its water from public water systems. That's right, it's purified tap water. Pepsi doesn't hide this fact, but they certainly don't advertise it either. The label proudly states that Aquafina uses a rigorous 7-step Hydro 7 purification process, which sounds impressive until you realize they're just marketing basic filtration techniques that remove trace minerals and potentially beneficial compounds along with contaminants. Here's the kicker. After removing everything from the water, Aquafina doesn't add anything back. This means you're drinking completely stripped water that's essentially been reduced to just H2O molecules. While this might sound pure, it can actually leach minerals from your body as it seeks to balance itself. The absence of natural minerals means your body has to work harder to utilize this water effectively. Water sommelier Belinda Chang, who professionally tastes and rates water brands, described Aquafina as tasting a little powdery, with some dissolved minerals and a little bit of salt, despite the company's claims of not adding anything back. The inconsistent taste profile suggests quality control issues or contamination during the bottling process. The plastic bottles Aquafina uses are particularly concerning. While some of their bottles are made from recycled plastic, which sounds environmentally friendly, This can actually introduce more contaminants into the water. Recycled plastic can contain residual chemicals from whatever was previously stored in that plastic. These chemicals can migrate into your drinking water over time. Multiple consumer tests have found that Aquafina often has a distinctly plastic taste, especially when the bottles have been sitting on shelves or exposed to any warmth. This plastic flavor isn't just unpleasant, it's a sign that chemicals from the bottle are actively leaching into the water you're about to drink. Compounds like antimony, which is used in PET plastic production, can leach into water and have been linked to various health concerns. Did you know that in a blind taste test, most people couldn't distinguish Aquafina from regular tap water? In fact, some preferred tap water. You're essentially paying a massive premium for water that's been stripped of beneficial minerals, packaged in questionable plastic, and shipped across the country burning fossil fuels, all for something that tastes the same or worse than what comes out of your faucet. PepsiCo has faced criticism for their environmental impact related to plastic waste. Despite corporate sustainability pledges, the sheer volume of single-use plastic bottles they produce makes them one of the world's leading contributors to plastic pollution. Every Aquafina bottle you buy contributes to this crisis. Before we continue exposing the other toxic brands, do a quick favor. If you're finding this information valuable and want to protect your health, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Seriously, this could save you and your family from years of toxic exposure. Drop a comment below telling me which brand you've been drinking. If Aquafina is bad, Dasani might be even worse. Owned by Coca-Cola, Dasani has become synonymous with bottled water for many Americans. But this brand has a controversial history that most consumers know nothing about. Dasani uses the same model as Aquafina. It's purified tap water sourced from municipal supplies. But here's where Dasani takes things to another level. They add things back into the water. The ingredient list on a Dasani bottle reads more like a chemistry experiment than pure water. Magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, and salt. Yes, salt. They're literally adding salt to your water. Why would they do this? These additives are supposedly for taste, creating what Coca-Cola calls a consistent, fresh taste. But critics argue these chemicals are added to make you thirstier, encouraging you to drink more and buy more bottles. It's a business strategy disguised as quality control. Water experts and taste testers consistently rank Dasani near the bottom for flavor. Multiple reviewers describe it as flat, uninteresting, and with an odd chemical aftertaste. That aftertaste isn't your imagination. It's the result of those added chemicals interacting with your taste buds and the plastic bottle itself. Here's a story that should concern everyone. In 2004, Coca-Cola had to recall 500,000 bottles of Dasani in the United Kingdom after tests revealed the water contained illegal levels of bromate, a cancer-causing chemical. The contamination happened during Coca-Cola's own purification process when they added calcium chloride to the water. This led to a complete withdrawal of Dasani from the UK market, and the brand has never returned there. Think about that. An entire country won't accept this brand, yet Americans drink it by the billions of gallons. The plastic bottles Dasani uses are notoriously flimsy. While they claim the bottles are made from 100% recycled PET plastic, the thin construction means they're more likely to collapse and deform, potentially accelerating chemical leaching. Heat is particularly problematic. If these bottles sit in a hot warehouse or car, the chemical transfer into the water dramatically increases. Independent laboratory testing has found that Dasani, like other municipal-sourced bottled waters, can contain chlorination byproducts, fluoride compounds, and traces of pharmaceutical residues that municipal treatment plants don't fully remove. When you consider you're paying over $1 per bottle for chemically enhanced tap water in questionable plastic, the value proposition falls apart completely. Consumer Reports has noted that while Dasani meets federal safety standards, meet standards is a pretty low bar. We're talking about putting something into your body multiple times every single day. Shouldn't we aim for better than technically not illegal? Now here's one that might really surprise you. Starkey Spring Water, sold exclusively at Whole Foods, has marketed itself as a premium, natural spring water option. With Whole Foods' reputation for health and quality, you'd assume this water is among the safest choices. You would be wrong. Consumer Reports tested Starkey spring water and found something shocking. It had arsenic levels just shy of the federal legal limit of 10 parts per billion. Even more concerning, it contained more than 3 times the amount Consumer Reports recommends as safe. Over 3 parts per billion, when their guideline is maximum 3 parts per billion. Arsenic, in water, from Whole Foods. Let's be clear about what we're talking about here. Arsenic is a known carcinogen. Long-term exposure to elevated arsenic levels has been linked to various cancers, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and neurological problems. While Starkey's levels are technically legal, the scientific community increasingly agrees that there is no truly safe level of arsenic exposure. Every bit counts when it comes to accumulating toxins in your body over years and decades. The fact that this water is marketed as coming from a pristine spring in Idaho makes the contamination even more troubling. It suggests that either the source itself is contaminated, possibly from agricultural runoff or natural geological arsenic deposits, or something in the bottling process is introducing contamination. Either scenario is unacceptable for a premium-priced water brand sold at a health-focused retailer. Whole Foods' response to the Consumer Reports findings was essentially, "Trust us, it meets FDA requirements." But here's the problem with that defense. FDA standards for bottled water often lag behind current scientific understanding of what's actually safe. The federal limit for arsenic was set decades ago, long before we understood the full scope of health risks from chronic low-level exposure. What makes this even more frustrating is that Starkey isn't cheap. It's positioned as a premium product with premium pricing. Consumers shopping at Whole Foods are often specifically seeking healthier options and are willing to pay more for quality and safety. Instead, they're getting one of the most contaminated bottled waters tested by a major consumer organization. Did you know that Whole Foods initially tried to downplay the Consumer Reports findings? It wasn't until public pressure mounted that they addressed the issue more directly. This raises serious questions about transparency and whether profit margins are being prioritized over customer health and safety. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about the brands that are actually doing things right. After extensive research, laboratory testing, and analysis, 2 brands stand out as genuinely safe options if you must buy bottled water. Mountain Valley spring water is the real deal, and it has the credentials to prove it. This water has been bottled since 1871 and served as the official water of the White House from 1920 to the present day. When presidents trust it, that means something. What sets Mountain Valley apart is its source. The water comes from a protected spring in the Ouachita Mountains of Arkansas, where it's naturally filtered through layers of granite and marble over thousands of years. This natural filtration process creates water with a balanced mineral profile and a naturally alkaline pH between 7.3 and 7.7, which helps neutralize acidity in your body. The mineral content is significant. Mountain Valley naturally contains calcium, magnesium, and other beneficial minerals that your body needs. These aren't artificial additives. They're naturally occurring from the geological formations the water passes through. This creates water that not only tastes clean and refreshing, but actually provides nutritional benefits. Perhaps most importantly, Mountain Valley offers their water in glass bottles. Glass is completely inert, meaning it doesn't leach any chemicals into the water regardless of temperature or storage time. While they also offer BPA-free plastic options for convenience, the glass bottle option eliminates plastic exposure entirely. Independent laboratory testing consistently shows Mountain Valley to have negligible levels of contaminants, heavy metals, and harmful chemicals. The company is transparent about their testing results and sources, publishing detailed water quality reports that are readily available to consumers. The downside? It's expensive. A case of 24 glass bottles costs around $38, or about $1.58 per bottle. But when you